Recording in
These are the
progress.
tales and ramblings of two men
hit the
and
button.
their dream of running a successful food truck business and life. We invite you along to join Josh and Skippy on this journey. This is Monday Morning Food Truck.
Hi, Bert.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm well, and yourself?
Super. It is a
Yes.
nice, relaxing
Yeah.
Monday morning.
It's a fair Monday morning.
You have a fair today?
No, it's a fair. Like
Oh.
it's fair.
Gotcha. Hey, I just got an invite to a Facebook webinar
Ooh.
about ads.
Oh. Who's webinaring?
Not,
Oh, is
not
it like
Zuck.
Oh, so it's through Facebook is what you're saying?
No, it's Facebook's putting it on.
Correct. So it's through Facebook.
Yes.
Okay. Make sure we're on the same page.
I always was.
Sure you were.
Hey, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Have
We're
you
just
ever
going to get
been
into questions.
sitting in a garage with the door open, and then you back out of the garage and hit said garage door?
Okay. Make sure I'm understanding. So
I think you are.
there's a lot to unpack just in that one question. So you're in your vehicle,
Yep.
facing the wall,
Yep.
and you're under the impression that the garage door is open.
No,
Fully
it is open.
Okay, fully
100%.
open. Is this your truck or a car?
A car.
Okay, all right. Does it have anything? Is the tailgate up on it?
No. This wasn't me, by the way. It was my father-in-law.
Bert?
Father-in-law.
Oh, no, not Bert. That's your father. Sorry. So, yeah, I really don't know how that happened unless they they didn't think it was open and they pressed the button and it closed it.
But then you
That'd be-
back up immediately after you push the button? Like, you don't even wait for it to open if you think it's closed? You just push the button and go?
Sounds like father-in-law is getting a new garage door.
For us, yes.
Oh, well, this is your
This
humble
was
abode.
5 minutes after I got home from Newaygo yesterday because they were watching the kids. Angie's in Philadelphia for a conference. So,
Oh.
yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah. So how long is a brand new house supposed to feel new? Because for us, it was about 3 weeks.
Well, you have doggos.
A year and a half in, it's not feeling like anything in this house has not been touched with love.
Yeah, I can understand that. I can definitely understand that.
So, yeah. Their car's still in the garage. Luckily, he noticed pretty quick, and he didn't, punch it, leaving the garage or anything. But enough to bend the bottom panel and the wheels. And then garage doors these days, they don't use the springs anymore. They have the cables with the chain.
Yeah,
So those all came off the wheels. The cables did.
sure.
So we had to force the door up so they could leave, because that had to happen before I lost my shit. And then I had to spend another 45 minutes trying to not die while unhooking said cables under tension to be able to get the garage door down for the night. Yep.
So you had a great Sunday, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, it was not bad.
Okay.
Luckily, I have an appointment. Someone's coming out to at least get it back on track and get the cables reconnected for me. I looked at it, and it's not anything I want to do. And I'm guessing there's some special tools they have that make it a whole lot easier. without
kinda
the
what
threat
they
of death. So, yep, they'll be out this afternoon.
did. Mm.
Yeah. Luckily, Mondays are pretty laid back. I don't have anything going on, so.
Yeah.
Skippy, how are
Okay.
you? You had a nice Sunday.
I had a good Sunday. Yes, it capped off a pretty shitty week. Excuse my.
Yeah, we have lots to
Folks.
talk about this week, I think.
Well, I'm just gonna dive into it.
Yeah. I'm going to guess it's all weather related talk this week, so.
Well, ish. So ish.
Threat of weather related talk.
Yeah. So, in all fairness, and I don't. If we talk about weather, okay, I will try my damnedest to make any scheduled appearance I have, unless I'm told not to, or unless there is severe lightning where it could cause harm to people coming up to my truck.
And you've canceled more often than I have for weather. Well, I don't fucking care. There could be a tornado down the street, and if we're out, we're going.
If I had an awning, I'd be fine. I'd
Yeah.
go out anyway. Doesn't matter. But that's next year. Anyway, so I had, we definitely had weather this week. Wednesday, I go to a sub that is supposed to be typical, like 2.5 hours, anywhere from $1,200 to $1,500 in 2.5 hours. It's always packed, always big.
Mm-hmm.
I think I had 19 sales that day. I had a private event on Thursday where I went to a place and I fed them lunch,
Mm-hmm.
and I got my first negative Square review
Oh.
because they said the lunch I gave them wasn't good enough. Because I didn't provide lunch. I sold lunch to people. It wasn't like a catered thing.
Okay.
But it was. So I made the mistake of not on these type of things. I don't normally cook ribs because
Mhm.
they either can go fast. I don't want to disappoint anybody, so I just keep them off the menu for events like this.
Yep, that's normal. We do too.
But I had the rest of the menu. Everything was fine. So I
Mhm.
get a negative review the next day, and it said overpriced and out of significant menu items. And I look, and Square will tell you what he ordered.
Mhm.
I say he, she, whatever. Not like the listener,
They.
but they ordered a brisket sandwich and a mac and cheese.
Mhm.
And they said I was overpriced. So I responded, so I appreciate the feedback. Thank you very much for offering your input. Please advise on how I could do better to continue to earn your business. Something. And of course, I'm never going to get a response because they just like to bitch and not return messages. So that was a start of. So and then I went to a brewery that is normally really good. Didn't realize that the county fair or the community fair was in town. So I just got people who didn't want to go to the fair.
Yeah.
So-
Question: did you run out? Were you sold out of anything else at the lunch, or did you have everything the rest of the day? So just the
Everything was
ribs.
good.
Yeah.
Just the ribs. Which, yeah. And then comes Friday. Friday there was some weather. Friday was some weather. It was pouring here for the majority of the day. I was supposed to be in Battle Creek, which is west. So I was actually paying attention to whatever you were posting because I figured, if it's going to get there, it'll get here. So I emailed the nice lady because I was supposed to be there for an outdoor concert.
Mhm.
And I didn't realize this was not an amphitheater. This was just an outdoor venue
Right.
that didn't have any outdoor shelter. So I messaged her. I said, "Hey, do we have a plan for rain?" And she's like, "Well, we normally call it at 2:30 or 2:00 for a 5:00 concert to give people ample time to do something different." I said, "Okay." And then she messaged me back or emailed me back and said, "Hey, we're going to make the call at 3:30. We understand if that's not enough time for you to get here, and if you have to cancel, that's understandable. We hate having to depend on weather."
Mm-hmm.
So I continued to look at the radar, and it looked like there was going to be a blip between like 6 and 7, and this was going on between like 5 to 8. So no communication. I'm like, well, 6 and 7, that's fine. I can go.
Mm-hmm.
So drove all the way there, pulled into the parking lot. The band was standing there, and one guy flagged me down and said, "Oh, they didn't call you?" I'm like, "For what?" They were like, "Yeah, we had to cancel it." I'm like, "Oh," I said, "Yeah, there's no shelter, so the band's equipment could get wet, and we don't want that to happen." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I'm sitting there in the parking lot with my helper, who, took time off of work to come help me. And I make a couple phone calls. I call this local brewery who was like right down the street. I said, "Hey, you guys have a food truck for tonight?" I know they don't. Well, at the time, I didn't know if they had food or not. Mm-hmm. They said, "Well, we have a kitchen." I said, "Oh, okay. I was going to ask if you wanted one because I happened to be in town for an event that got canceled." She said, "Oh, well, what do you offer?" I said, "I offer barbecue sandwiches." "No, thanks. We're fine." Okay, thanks.
Alrighty.
Have a great day. So then I called Horrocks, which I've been to before. New location, and they have a beer garden now. It's open. They have live music, everything.
Yep.
So I called them. And if this isn't the epitome of laziness, I don't know what is. And I said, "Hi, can I talk to somebody, in your beer garden?" "Sure, hold on." I get there. "Hi, this is so-and-so." I said, "Hi, do you guys have a food truck for tonight?" They're like, "No, not tonight. We just have live music." I said, "Okay, would you like one? I have one in town. I'm be willing to definitely come post up." "Well, I can't make that decision, and my boss isn't here, so I think we're going to have to pass." Okay. So I drove the 45 minutes home and sulked the whole time, and realized that I had a lot of food with me that I actually made the decision to throw away because I'm like, yeah, don't want to deal with that anymore. Mm-hmm. And then Saturday was supposed to be a little farmer's market. That's really only open from 10 to 2 on a Saturday, which is stupid. And of course, it was supposed to rain that whole time there. And they said with good weather, they'd have like 600 people. And I'm like, well, this isn't going to be good weather.
How about moderate weather?
Well, the only other time I was there was decent weather, and I got like 20 people. So, okay. And then the lady that I booked with is no longer there. So I made the decision not to go. I let them know, but
yeah.
And I also looked at their Facebook page and realized they didn't even promote me, which I appreciate. So I just decided to set up in our downtown Brooklyn location, and because it was probably last minute, I did like $500 or $600, nothing big. During this time, and we had the discussion last week about a local Flavor Fruit farm that was changing the way they charge food trucks, or actually going to charge food trucks now.
Yep.
So they have a food truck event Saturday and Sunday, and I talked to the main guy that I know there on Saturday, who's a legend. We've had him on our podcast, Tiki Sam, and found out that they did absolutely like barely any better. He did like $1,000 for like 5 hours, and for him that's light. Like that's super, super light. So I'm like, okay, well, do I pack for a normal day at this place, or do I pack a little light? Mm-hmm. So I had like 2 briskets and 4 butts and 2 full Panamac, and we sold out in 4 hours. So it was definitely a better day that capped off kind of a crappy week, but I found out more basically that this farm brought in a marketing company or a consulting company that said that they need to charge for all these festivals that they do, and I found out that I was the top selling food truck there out of the three, which just makes me feel good. But it was, and I'm there next weekend, so I'll pack more accordingly. But it was just listening to all the stuff that, people were saying about, like, would you pay $15 to get into a sunflower field? That might have bounce houses for kids or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And the answer is no. Like, no. They go, they're going to buy their donuts, get their hard ciders or whatever, maybe grab some food and go home.
On this side of the state, almost all the farms charge for admittance. So
yeah, and I get it. And this one's always been free for the last like 4 or 5 years. And I would. Do you know what they charge?
Yeah, like $10,
Okay.
if not more. I don't know because I don't.
This was
go.
This was 15 for. Well, here's the thing. So the deal was you could park inside the festival grounds,
Mm-hmm.
not give any sale or any percentage of your sales to the ownership, but people have to pay to get into the festival grounds.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can park outside the festival grounds and it's 10%. I can tell you that the one burger place, I'm not going to call them a truck because they set up. I don't understand how people can do this, but okay. They set up 2 Blackstones, a portable fryer, and a 10x10,
Mm-hmm.
and they were slinging burgers. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, good for them. But they did
It's
like
allowed as long as you have all their proper sanitation requirements met.
I did not see a 3-bay sink, but that's beside the point. They did about 1,000 in sales, so I know that it probably wasn't as good for them as it was for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It just that got me all at least excited for next Sunday.
Yeah.
And then this week. Hopefully, I'm back in Battle Creek again. Let's see if it gets canceled this time. Without anybody telling me, it's the same organizer.
Yeah.
And then she has the ball. She has the cojones to email me and said, "Oh, I saw your post. I'm sorry that you made the trip. I thought we were on the same page." And I said, "Well, the last email I got from you was you're going to call it at 3:30 and give me a buzz."
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I should have reached out personally. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess she assumed that you weren't going to make the trip.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm like, I'll make my dates if I can. Like, I'm not. But
Mm-hmm.
if the weather looks fine, I'm gonna run it. So I think she's probably had a lot of other problems with probably food trucks canceling for sprinkles. So yeah,
Sprinkles,
so there was
sprinkles are for winners, buddy.
Yeah, starting to plan for winter already. Ish. So how was all your fun places? Because this is fun. Like, this is fun, right? This is fun.
No, this is our job. Jobs aren't always fun.
Mom always said, if you can't have fun at your job, you shouldn't be doing it.
All right. Well, this is
Thanks for the word of wisdom,
resignation.
No, not yet.
There is fun days, but there is a whole lot of stress and anxiety on the other days. Yeah.
I did talk a food truck operator off the ledge, though.
You did? As in, like, they jumped, or?
As in, they were like, they messaged me, how much would you buy my trailer for? I'm like, do you need to talk about it? And then I guess he had a good day on Saturday, so that's good. But anyway,
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
What week? Oh, that's the week. Yeah, I mean, it was. Our subdivisions are been, man, so hit and miss over the summer, and I get it. But yeah, we had a really good. Tuesday was pretty good. Spectrum continues to kind of come back a little bit. At least transactions that were up, they were all small orders, and that's pretty typical for them. But at least we had people from inside the building.
People's are good. People's always good.
Yep. And then we had the Caledonia concert series wrapped up. We were there for the last one, and it was slamming. We sold out, I think. Yeah, we sold out. We had 2 sellouts this week, so that was good. Yeah, sold out that night. Everything's just been okay. We ran. We had a pretty abnormally good lunch at the gas station. So we've done the gas station back-to-back days a few times this year for lunch. And the second day we're there, which we expect it to be a slower day, is always the busier of the two. Which surprises me because it's such a small area. There's not a ton of people there. But yeah, it was slamming for lunch on Thursday. I was off. I took Thursday off. They ran out of brisket in an hour. They rolled into dinner with a pan of pork, a pan of mac and cheese, and 2 racks of ribs, and didn't sell out. The subdivision, it was crickets at the subdivision.
Oh.
Which is like, ugh, God dang it. So close to, and that's a subdivision that hasn't been great lately, and it's probably the last time we're going to be out there. So it's just one of those things.
Yeah, you gotta make those calls.
Yep, and it's one that we've gone to since our first year. I mean, it was our first subdivision ever, I think, during COVID. So, you have the attachment to some of those, and it's time to move on. But yeah, all week long, we kind of were looking at the forecast because we always do. It determines what we cook for the week and for each day. And I had been watching. It's been on there all week. The potential rain for Friday and the thunderstorms for Friday were on the forecast all week long. So we had Granville's Vintage Fest Friday, Saturday. Friday has always been a slamming day. Last year, Saturday, we got rained out. They called it as we were pulling pork in the morning at the festival. So yeah, they shut it down and they let us set up where they hold the farmers market, which is on the backside of the street. And we actually, the Grand Rapids Facebook group, food Facebook groups, kind of rallied to the trucks that wanted to stay and try to sell whatever they had. We had a decent-ish day considering. So last year. So I was a little iffy with the rain situation, knowing that they had canceled due to rain before. So trying to kind of feel it out through the week. We have a pretty good relationship with the lady that does it. She does all the events, so we see her every other week for the farmers market, and we have a couple other events in the town that we do with them. So I had emailed her on Thursday saying, hey, what's the feeling for how you guys go about deciding if you're going to cancel? Because on Thursday morning, it was a 60% chance of scattered thunderstorms. So really, it's a freaking coin toss. 1, if you're going to get rain. 2, if you're going to get anything that's thunder and lightning that would close for safety-wise. And this is what was a $3,500 night last year. So it's a significant amount of food that we're getting ready to put on the smoker. And she told me that they would make the determination by 10 o'clock in the morning on Friday. I said, okay. And I get it. You have to. I mean, so I emailed her back. I said, so if it hits like 70, 80% chance, you're going to lean towards canceling? Or if it stays around 50? And I never got a response back until the next morning. So we filled it, man. We cooked our full load. And I wake up in the morning. The first thing I do is check the forecast, the hourly forecast. And it said, not only did it get worse, but it got significantly worse. So originally it was supposed to start it was a 40% chance of rain at 1 o'clock when I went to bed. Now it was a 50% chance of rain at 10 a.m. and all the rest of the day. And it just increased as the day went on. The event didn't start, we didn't start serving until 5 is when they opened for the day. So, but then every hour after I checked, it got better. And it got better, and it kept getting pushed back. And by the time noon rolled around, the time we were supposed to set up, there was an hour of potential rain at 9 o'clock. And by that time, she made the determination at 9 o'clock. She said, we're going to go. they had vendors pull out. They had 4 less food trucks than they were supposed to, which is okay. I'm okay with that.
Can you hear that in the background?
No.
Okay.
But for the second time in 3 weeks, Food Truck Fridays in downtown Grand Rapids canceled because of the threat of rain. Both times, it turned out to be an absolutely beautiful evening.
Of course it did.
They got blown up for it when they did it a couple weeks ago. And we were supposed to be at that one, which we talked about. And on this post, he said, any negative comments or trolling will be deleted. I was the third person to comment. All I said was, bummer, Granville Vintage Fest is going to give it a go. If you need your food truck fix, come out there. And he deleted it.
Yeah, of course he did.
I was like, there was nothing negative.
Promoting somebody else.
But the Grand Rapids Food Truck Association is supposed to promote all the events in Grand Rapids, not just the ones that have their name attached to them. This is why they have a hard time getting new members, probably. Me included. Because I'm paying an awful lot of money, a significant amount of money a year, to be an association member. And granted, there is benefit because you get dibs on events, but still, if you're going to pick and choose which events you want to help out. Meanwhile, there's trucks that have their whole weekly schedule posted on their Facebook page, which seems to be at random which ones they allow and which ones they don't.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is not that podcast. So yeah, they had made the determination to go. When I saw her when we pulled in, there was some light sprinkling happening. She's like, I got yelled at so much for letting everybody know we were going to go. She said, you would have thought there was hurricanes coming. She said the fire chief had sent out an email to all the city officials about severe weather preparation and wind preparation. And it's like, there's a couple sprinkles and blue skies. I'm like, she's like, I don't know. I said, I looked at the radar. Everything's going north or south of us. She said, I don't know if what everybody else is looking at, but yeah, it was a beautiful day. The place was freaking packed. We were slamming. It was Caleb's first busy night, where it was busy. We did back-to-back $1,100 hours. Yeah, it was. He did okay. I mean, it's hard being the person that's your job is to hand the food out because there's gaps where I'm sure he didn't feel like he was doing anything, but he was doing exactly what we needed him to do. You know,
exactly.
Yeah, and it's a learning thing, and it's hard to try to correct somebody in that situation when the other two people are slamming, and not for it to come across as being annoyed and bitching. I didn't yell at anybody, which is good. I was close. It was bubbling at the surface. Yeah, we had some food go out to the wrong people a couple times, so.
Hate that.
Or the wrong food. So as we're setting food, he's grabbing extra food, not double checking the ticket, and just kind of handed everything out.
It'd be so much nicer if you had 2 windows.
Well, we have. So yeah.
No, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
you know what
2 very separate. Yeah,
Yes.
Man, the whole time we were there, my brain's just churning on how we can set up Trailer 2 to be the most efficient festival trailer possible. Because I think if we could have moved our line faster, yeah, we would have gotten 80% of the sales that were there that night. Because we were there with other trucks that were slow. So even though we're fast, our line was still a half hour long. Yeah. And they're still waiting 15 minutes after to get their food because I have 15, 20 tickets. Because Chris is just flowing, man. You know, and you can only make food so fast. But
I got something to ask you about that, like to get your opinion on once we're done.
Okay. So yeah, that was great. It did end up raining overnight, and at the very beginning of the festival on Saturday, it rained pretty hard for about a half an hour. And I don't know if that's why kind of foot track was down a little bit on Saturday, based on where it was. Shit, even the year that we got rained out and we were behind we did a little bit better in sales, or it was about the same as that day. So foot traffic was just down a little bit, but it's still okay day. And then Newaygo, man, was just another ghost town. 2 weeks in a row.
Really?
Like
Anything
we barely beat last Sunday, and it was pouring the whole time we were up there. Like,
Is there anything going on?
No. No, the only thing I can think of is people are out trying to get back to school stuff done because that starts in a week. I don't know. It was weird. But as I'm looking through my calendar, I think we only have like 4 more days in Newaygo for the rest of the year. Oddly. Between events and other things going on. Yeah, we're busy. So I'm not going to lose too much sleep over it. Hopefully they come around the next couple weeks and have some good weekends. But yeah. So what did you want to ask me about?
So you had mentioned your line was a half hour long, and then 15 minutes to get food.
Yep.
Give or take. So that brought me to, us having one window, ours don't go up and down, ours goes side to side, and only the middle really opens. So my helper thinks that and we've tried it both ways. So I guess you as a customer, if you've decided on this food truck and you're willing to wait in line, would you rather have your customer wait to order, wait to receive, or both? And I'm only talking about customers that might order. You don't really you have to have a choice.
Yeah.
There has to be you have to have a choice. There can't be a neither. Unless you have an option D that I didn't think about.
So for me as a person, I'm the quickest of the team making food. So typically when we're in these situations where we know there's going to be a line for 2 hours that's going to be 30 people deep.
Yes.
I'm making food.
Exactly. Me too.
So for me, in my stress levels, I would rather the order taker be slower for me to be able to have a manageable amount of tickets. My ideal ticket number on the rail is like 5 to 6. I'm comfortable there. It doesn't feel overwhelming. I know it doesn't matter that there's other tickets there, but I can't help but see them like out of the corner of my eye. Yeah. And then I try to rush more, and it just slows me down because I make more mistakes.
Exactly.
And then when somebody else, we had this a lot on Friday, where someone would order, and then they'd get their order, and they're like, "Can I add on a Coke?"
Yeah, and you have to run 2 tickets.
Happens so freaking much, and that was driving me absolutely batshit crazy. But I get it, and there's no way I would have wanted them to wait in line again, so I'm glad that they took care of them. But one of them was an ear. Can I add on an ear of corn? Which doesn't take a super long amount of time, but I got to stop what I'm doing then to get this guy's ear of corn to get him out of the window so we can proceed with the rest of the line.
Exactly.
So yeah, I would prefer the order taking process to take longer because in my brain, which I know it's no different, it's less stressful for me to see less tickets on the rail.
Yeah, I would.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, I'd love to hear what our listeners think about that, on how they feel about it. I'm the same way. I would if I'm running the truck myself, then it's one at a time. You order, I make your food, you go, and then I help the next person in line. Obviously, the only thing that really gets me, I'm not gonna say backed up, but keeping that line from moving fast is if they order multiple meals or just a whole lot of food.
Yeah.
But that's just something that happens anyway, and then you always like to see the high ticket prices, and you're good. It makes you feel better afterwards.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was. I totally agree with you as far as what the where that's. Yeah, I'd rather have them wait to get food or wait to order than wait to receive.
So, but in the grand scheme of thing, it doesn't matter because they're still going to wait the same amount of time.
Yeah, they're still going to wait, but I think it's Now I have told my helper to, hey, just keep taking orders and we'll get food out.
Yeah.
But when she's the one person that has to take the orders and yell the people's names out, then it kind of bogs her down too.
So, yeah, when it's two of us and we are busy, we try to go a 1-to-1. So go ahead and get us to 5 tickets, and then you don't take another order until you hand out an order.
Yeah.
So take an order, hand out an order, take an order, and then we're in a good rhythm. If there's like 2 tickets that are only 2 items each and they're the same items, and I can make both those at the same time, and it's easier to manage that for me. But yeah, I think at one point in time we hit 20 tickets. I mean, our rail's a pretty decent length, but then you have to start overlapping tickets, and I can't see anything past the second ticket, which makes it harder for me. Because if I see a loaded Mac, even if they're not on 2 consecutive orders, like there's 2 loaded Macs in 3 orders, I'll go ahead and do both of those at the same time.
Yep.
Because it takes me significantly less time to make 2 of them than it does 1 each twice.
Yeah.
So that's the other part why I think 5 to 6 is a good number for me because I can manage that. I can see 5 to 6 tickets easy.
Yep.
So yeah, I go ahead.
So I was going to say, speaking of tickets, I discovered and I've implemented some new to me technology regarding Square.
I vaguely remember seeing a post, but I don't remember what you did.
Yeah. So for people that have listened since day one, we talked about what credit card processing systems we use and what equipment we have. Josh uses the Square Register that has basically a register and a kitchen or a kitchen printer and a customer facing screen that they can complete their credit card purchases on. In the food truck training group on Facebook, I saw somebody had connected their Square Terminal, which is what I use. It's a handheld device, to an iPad, utilizing the POS. And all you needed to complete or to print was a Bluetooth kitchen printer. So I ordered one through Amazon. It got there the next day. Unfortunately, too late for me to use it, but it's the best thing I've ever done. So the terminal now stays outside. That's the customer-facing equipment. The iPad and the kitchen printer stay inside, and it makes life so much easier now.
So were you not? You didn't have tickets at all before?
No, I did. The terminal prints the tickets,
but it's out of the handheld device.
Correct.
Gotcha.
So it's like you're constantly handing it to them, then getting it back.
Okay.
People would try to pull their own tickets out and like completely screw with the paper and just I couldn't deal with it. So this is so much easier. There's also more you can do on the keyboard on my iPad's obviously bigger than the little keyboard on it's like texting. So we tried it out yesterday, and I think it did make our line go faster.
So you have a hodgepodge version of what Restaurants is.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. So same thing as what you have with the register, with the exception is mine's completely wireless.
Yeah.
So that's what I wanted to try to do, is try to do the wireless route, because I only have one window that opens and closes. I didn't really want a wire going through. So, but
thanks for reminding me.
That was so it worked real well yesterday. We were in a kind of a spotty service, which kind of hurt. And then the downside is your terminal, because it is wireless, to be able to process those sales, even though it's hooked to your iPad, still has to be hooked up to a hotspot.
Yeah.
So I have an iPad that is cellular, so that wasn't an issue. But sometimes the connection of the two was not in sync. Towards the end of the day, it was like that, which is weird. But I think in a better service area, I'll be okay. And I'll utilize the same Verizon service, so.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Hold on a second. I'll be right back.
Yep.
Sorry about that. I thought I heard a soft knock on the garage door. So,
Oh.
there was no one there.
Yeah, so that was good.
Yeah, we're I'm getting safety cones to carry around with us. Traffic cones.
Yeah, I
I'm
thought
tired
about that
of
myself.
people driving underneath our awning. Yeah, someone's going to hit it at some point in time. And for the most part, it's not even on rainy days. It's just because of laziness.
Yeah.
So,
I
like in
can see that.
Newaygo, we have the whole parking lot to ourselves in Newaygo. There's
And
plenty
they
of
drive
parking
as close
spots.
to you as
But
possible.
someone will park next to the awning, and then somebody else will park next to them, and all of a sudden, there's nowhere for anybody to drive.
Yeah. Because you got the people that don't want to get out of their car to look at the menu.
Yeah.
They just drive up as close as possible and then prevent anybody else from getting anywhere near you.
So, yeah, and there's a couple of locations that will put out cones for us to block off spots, and we'll set them out. But they usually pick them up as soon as they come out to order food. So, and it's just good safety, and that way I don't have to worry about people are nearly hitting our awning, because I don't need that to happen either. But yeah, I really need to figure out how I'm paying for the second trailer, and I know I should be paying cash for it, but I don't want to be cash poor. So,
You know, I've been contemplating the next moves for PB&J's barbecue, as you have for Sweet Rags.
mm-hmm.
You've been doing this longer than I have, and you're thinking about trailer 2. I'm thinking about just upgrading my trailer and retiring this one. However, the talk of buildings has been put more into my head lately. And it's not so. One of our listeners, Nick Lodato with Twisted Street, right? He runs a brick and mortar, and it's open one day a week. It's open on Fridays from like 11 to 4.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, and he uses it more as a commercial kitchen versus anything else. There is a Subway building, standalone Subway building, that the Subway moved to a local gas station like a quarter mile down the road. So now the building's empty, has a great parking lot. So the thought of, could this be open for just a takeout spot during the wintertime? It's either order a new trailer or possibly put money into something like this, because I know I would, if it's a Subway building, it's not going to have any of the equipment I need.
Right.
It won't have. They were just getting fresh stuff in and throwing it in their fridges, and that's about it. So I'd have to see what type of equipment I would have to buy just to make it commercial kitchen legal, and then kind of go from there. So that was my thing. And then as part of my 4-year plan now, I have now become a sauce/rub distributor for a couple of the major brands that are available. So thinking about making something out of that. So there are a lot of things running through my head. What's running through your head?
I just need to figure out how I'm paying for this thing.
Did your bank lady get back to you?
No. So,
Okay.
I don't know. I told so she was trying to do it as a revolving line of credit, just so it was always available. Blah blah blah. So that got declined by underwriting. And then she was going to go back and find out why. But yeah, as far as I know, our business credit should be as clean as a whistle. So if there is something there, I would like to know, because it's not, I didn't know about it, or it's inaccurate. So, so I asked her. I mean, just like a traditional vehicle, a recreational vehicle type of loan, what that looks like, possibility of the leasing place that I used. They do offer traditional loans as well. but I'm trying to avoid that route at all. And then there's the square option. So, which I like and don't like all at the same time. I am 99% sure that I already have the catering booked for next year that can pay for the trailer.
Yeah.
So that's not a problem, and that'll be everything from that trailer gets put towards after we pay food and whatever employees are running it. Everything else goes to the trailer to pay it off as quickly as possible, which would be paid next year, and without almost 100% certainty. So,
Yeah.
I have zero reservations about it being the right move for us next year. It's just a matter of how we pay for it. So, and ideally, yeah, it would be just cash. And if I waited another year, I could pay cash for it. But I don't want to wait another year, because turning stuff down this year hurts, and we're getting so
Are you
much.
keeping track of what you turned down? In order to reach out, in order to possibly reach out next season and say, "Hey, I have 2 trailers now. I can do it."
Well, a lot of it's wedding stuff,
Oh, okay.
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But as far as like festivals and stuff, like our ability to be able to go to have the trailer sitting at a festival for a weekend and us still being able to do roadside
Yeah.
is huge. And us to be able to, this trailer allowing us to be able to hit larger festivals
Yeah.
is huge. So, yeah, if we can like bring Coast Guard Festival into view, and some county fairs allow food trucks in, that kind of thing, where they're week-long events, and we can park the trailer for the week and just feed the trailer with food that we're prepping.
Yeah.
100%, I would love it. And right now, my thought is that is a 6-employee trailer at a time for large events. So
Really?
yeah, 5 at
So
a
you're
bare
going-
minimum, 6.
You're going big. You're going big trailer versus
It'll be the
one
same
that.
length as the one we have. So it'll have 2 service windows where you order, and 2 windows to have food go out, and 2 people making food.
Yep. Yeah.
So without a porch, without a smoker on a porch, and going, just what we need in there, I don't think it's an issue at all. I think there's more than enough space to do 2 sandwich prep tables, or 1 long sandwich prep table that 2 people can work off of, split in half.
Yeah.
With 2 warming cabinets, maybe 3. Yeah, and that's it. Really, give me prep space for making sandwiches. Give me a place to keep food hot, and give me some windows, and that's that trailer. You know.
Yeah. It's probably almost as basic can be.
Yeah.
But.
Yep.
Just equipment. Yeah. It
So,
works.
and then then it even works for weddings, and for days that we have multiple weddings. It would work great for that. Yeah, I can't wait to start doing $10,000 days. Between the 2
nice.
trailers, it's a and that trailer should be pretty light, I would think. So
Yeah, with what you're saying, it's not going to need. You might need more water capacity, but
yeah,
probably.
right now we have 2 wastewater tanks on our trailer, because that back sink has its own wastewater tank. That is the same size as the front one. I know. I couldn't believe it when I was underneath there. I was like, holy crap. But yeah, it's the fresh water that's the bigger issue. So I would need to double the freshwater capacity that we have now, which would get us to 4-ish days of freshwater dish capability.
You would also probably need a good sized generator too.
Yeah.
Something like that. I would expect probably 2 ACs.
Whatever. AC is
No,
overrated. It is.
if you got no, if you got 3 warming cabinets in there and a steam table, I mean that's going to get warm.
It gets warm anyways.
Okay.
Give me a couple fans and it'll be just as cool in there as it would be with an AC.
And you're going to be working that one, or you're going to work the other one?
I'll work whichever one I need to be on, or none of them. No, really, our AC doesn't do anything now outside of 2 months out of the year that it can actually keep up. You know, it was still 94 degrees in the trailer on Friday. You know, it
I
takes
did
the
find that
humidity out. That's all it does.
I know that there are. So I put a screen on our back door, so I can keep the back door open, and I do get a little bit of cross breeze. I have less of a enclosed space than you do, but
Yep.
I can tell that if I'm up front near the sink where the warmer is, even though it's an insulated warmer, it's hot.
Yeah.
Then if I'm standing back by the steam table, where I can actually feel the breeze, but it's also the AC. I hate how the AC can only point 2 ways, front and back. It can't really point side to side.
Well, ours does. So ours points to the sides of the trailer. So if
Oh,
you're
does
at
it?
if you're at our sandwich prep table,
Yeah,
it's great. It's nice and it's because it's blowing right on you.
yeah.
But it also blows right on all our buns, so those are chilly. And,
Oh.
and it cools off our dishwater because it hits that too. So our dishwater gets colder faster.
Yeah.
But you walk 3 feet to the right, and you can't feel it at all. So, but yeah, I mean, yeah, we could do a split. I don't know.
I was thinking of like what they're called, like attic fans, or actually I think they're called fantastic fans.
Yeah,
They're basically just
they pull air
like
out.
in RVs. They always put them in the bathroom.
Yeah,
So I was thinking about just having those above, like the warmer or above the steam table or something like that, just to suck the air out, almost like a hood system, but without the hood.
yeah.
And then maybe be on remote control because I'm short and probably couldn't reach it. But I don't know. I'm still playing around with that. Yeah, it's either invest in a building and equipment or invest in a new trailer. And I did find out that the one that I sent you the other day, you got that, I believe?
Yeah.
Also emailed me that said right now they're on a 6 to 12 week build time, or 8 to 12 week build time.
Well, that's not bad. 2 to 3 months.
No, 2 to 3 months.
Oof.
I know. 50% down, 50% at completion.
I wonder.
The
if
company
they
is
expect to be
out of
busier.
Kansas City, but the pickup is in Tennessee.
What?
I know it's fucking that part was weird. That part was real weird. But yeah, pickups in Tennessee, but they're out of Overland Park, Kansas.
All right.
I didn't want to do it. The reason I don't want a trailer now is because so let's say it is an 8 to 12 week build time.
Mm-hmm.
It means it gets there in November,
Yeah.
and I'm cash poor, or not cash poor, but it's
There's no money coming in. Everything's going out. Yeah.
yeah. And if I decide to, because I'm going to enclose it, to go out in the wintertime or whatever, what am I really going to get? That's why I was thinking about the building, is at least during the winter I could open it maybe 3 days a week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or something like that,
Yeah.
and kind of do what you were doing with Under Pressure, but at a location versus a mobile establishment.
Yeah.
Still offering stuff.
Yeah, I'm at a building once we get to 3 trailers. And we've talked about that before. I'm allowed to have 2 at the house. So,
I know. Yeah.
Sorry, I gotta.
How was are you happy that your sales, or are you happy that you're out of July and into August now that August is like 2 weeks over? once you're done typing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I thought I was. The numbers look atrocious right now, but when you take $7,000 away and put it in a different month, it doesn't help. Here, let me look to see where we're actually at. Let me give you we're about halfway through. We are not where I thought we would be this month, thus far.
I'm at just under 16.
Me too. Well, without the $7,000 in catering. So you add that in, and I'm at 22.
Okay.
Which would put us on par for last year's, if, we're on track for last year's August at 44-ish. Yeah, but we definitely thought we were hoping to be a little bit higher than we are. We do have some good events coming, though. We got another Food Truck Friday this month, which is always a good day. We got some weddings, or a wedding, rather. That's a pretty decent size that we're also doing our roadside stuff with, so that should be a good day. Yeah, it's
Interesting.
Our evening stuff seems to be a little light right now. We still have some blanks on the calendar, but we're getting them filled in. Yeah, I would still love to find a good dinner spot on a main drag that's not in a subdivision. That's a good spot to set up for folks leaving work and stuff. I'll find one. It'll come.
Have you do you have your dashboard up?
Yeah. Well, kind of.
Well, so I just went into reports. I didn't realize you can go into payment methods and see like which credit card is winning.
Yeah, I have never some of these subcategories in reports never make sense to me. Like
all right. So I did payment methods, and then this year because I wanted to see what my percentage for cash versus card was, and it's larger than I thought. I'm at like 68% card, 26% cash.
What's the rest of it?
4% check,
Oh,
and like 1% other.
I was like, that's not 100%. Yeah, I'm
Standard
standard
deviation.
Yeah, 68.8 credit card.
Yeah, that was nuts.
31 cash and 0.10% or 0.1% of gift cards. So
I have
and, Visa is way out front.
Way out front. 51.9%.
What is yours?
51.9.
Mine's 52.9. Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy. And then you can actually go down, and it'll tell you how they've been paid. So like tapped or dipped.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know at one point in time, they were charging different rates depending on how the card got processed. Like a dip was different than. I know they were charging extra for manual entry, which I thought was the dumbest thing ever.
Yes.
My first year was there was an extra like 0.5% for a manual enter card.
Yeah.
But
my tapped and dipped are like $100 off.
Oh yeah.
But like $10,000 off. Tapped is like $1,300. Dipped is $1,400.
Oh my God! My tapped is $488, and my dipped is $4,700.
Jeez, oh Pete.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
54 keyed.
I have 43 keyed, which I have no idea what keyed means.
So you manually enter the card number?
No, I've never typed in a card number. I think so. Here's what I think it is. I think it's when, like, if they type in their card number.
Maybe, like on an invoice.
So, yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I had to do a refund of a deposit.
Oh, yep. I have the same thing. Yep. So I have a deposit refund too on there. Yep.
Yeah. So I think keyed is that.
Mm-hmm.
But it shows the fees we paid. So I guess we could figure out exactly the dollar amount on that.
Oh, I have always kept track of mine in my spreadsheet because it's on your daily. If you look to get your daily, you can see your square fees on there. But I'm at 5,300 this year so far in square fees.
Oh, card 3225.
18 grand in credit card tips. Boys are making money.
11,254.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought that was kind of neat.
Interesting. Edit view.
Fucking $7,000 in taxes.
I don't have that on here.
Oh no, I switched back to like sales summary.
Oh. Okay.
Sorry.
Not good.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought that was neat. Just wanted to bring that up. I'm still so I did the math about where I am versus this year versus last year, and I'm still up. Transactions are almost 600 more transactions this year so far, and I'm hoping that's not just me being open in May or March, I should say.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of it, but yeah, we're still down transactions, significant transactions. I mean, us having a slower Saturday didn't help, but I mean, yeah. Let's see, we're down 8% in transactions year to year right now.
But are you up in sales or even?
9%.
Okay.
So, yeah, our Sundays aren't helping us right now. Yeah, so yeah, this weekend we took a little bit of a hit because of the slower Saturday than expected, and then a awful Sunday. So,
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, our average sale, I mean, we finally dipped below $30 for average sale. We're at $29.91. But we're gonna have we're gonna have a couple big single transaction amounts coming in the next couple of weeks with some catering stuff. So, you know, it'll go back up to over 30 this week probably. So, yeah, I don't know, Skippy. I don't know. It seems like it's too early, too soon for us to be thinking about end of the year.
I'm trying to run plans. I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah, 11 weeks is what we have left, including this week for me. That gets us through mid-November.
Running in December last year was, I didn't mind the cold. It was more of what the salt will do to my trailer.
Yeah.
And
I definitely noticed it. I definitely noticed it this year. That like where our propane, that little ledge where our propane tanks and the generator sat is, you know, it's a little rusty now, and it never was any other time. But we ran all winter, so. So yeah, I think
when I had the Outlaw on there, the salt somehow got up into the intake and just corroded it. It wouldn't move. Yeah. So I'm worried about keeping anything else back there, or should I just take the other smoker off if I'm going to run during the wintertime? But it's like, I don't know. I mean, I have the ramp door, so I can do that, but not that I really want to.
Yeah, I don't. We won't run roadside at all for the winter. We will we will offer buffet catering as a drop off. But yeah, we won't pull the trailer anywhere probably, unless it's a big event where it's a couple hundred people that we need the kitchen space. But hopefully those will be far and few between. I think we're going to set a minimum on any winter catering. I'm not gonna dirty everything for less than $1,000. So,
have you thought about getting a delivery vehicle yet?
Yeah, of course I have. Add it to the list of things with wheels I need.
The wheels on the bus go around.
Yeah. So as I start to quote, once I have some idea of my financing options for trailer, and then we figure out how to, or what we want on it and what the weight would be potentially, that'll determine which additional tow vehicle we need to be able to pull it. Because I can't do both trailers off the one truck, because if they both have to run the same time on the same day, that doesn't work. I don't want my job to be running and dropping trailers off and picking trailers up all day. Because there's a donut truck in the area that has 2 trailers, and that's pretty much what he does. He pulls both trailers out to whatever location in the event, and then he goes and picks them back up, and he's running and doing, he's just running nonstop, dropping and picking up trailers and shopping.
That just wouldn't be fun.
Yeah, I know. We try our hardest not to unhook our trailer.
Yeah, we do too.
Because it's a pain in the ass. Because then, where we have stuff in the truck, we got to take everything out of it.
Yeah.
Just in case they need something. So, it's just a pain in the ass. I have talked about, because Firewise has a cargo van that they use for their tow vehicle. I was thinking maybe if we got light enough, we could do that. And that we could use that as a delivery vehicle when needed.
Yeah, that does seem like a heavy trailer, though, the one he has.
I know.
So unless he did something, I mean, they make higher quality vans, but unless he did something in that van or puts a weight distribution.
His trailer has to be at least as heavy as mine.
Oh, at least.
So
I mean, he has a CTO on the back, and that's.
I wouldn't.
No.
Man, I would be so clenched tight the first time we lowered the trailer down onto that van.
My suspension on my Super Duty is starting to show it.
Yeah,
it's starting to sag a little bit more. Seems like it's every month it sags a little bit more. So I think it's time for maybe an upgrade in the wintertime. But fun
so
time.
or I do another pickup truck, which isn't an awful idea considering the wear and tear that is getting put on the current one. And I think it's got another 70,000 miles in it plus. The body's going to wear out before the engine does, I think.
So for what it's worth, hypothetically speaking, a full deletion can run you around $5,500.
Is that what you got quoted for yours?
Hypothetically.
Yeah. So I have my box, my little box that I got that I can plug in. It does the majority of it. I'm told that you don't need to remove all the extra piping and stuff. It doesn't hurt having it in long term, but you won't see all the miles per gallon benefits necessarily.
Yep.
But it'll do what I want it to do, which is just get rid of this shit so the computer doesn't see it anymore. And that was only, I think I paid $600 for it. But I still have questions, and I can't get anybody to answer my questions. So I have a couple people that have done it before, and I just need to talk to them. The directions aren't super clear, which makes me nervous.
Yeah.
And do I have to have it plugged in all the time, or can I do it and then unplug it and not have to worry about it anymore?
Is it a dongle, or is it like a piece that just goes in?
So it's got a little LCD screen, and then it plugs into the whatever that port is underneath that they use for
the adapter port.
Yeah, and then it shows you all your MPGs and your outputs and stuff. Like you can change everything on it. But do I have to have it plugged in order for it to function properly? But anyway, so they make those little tracker vehicles. They're just like little small utility vehicles. like the EPS has a lot of them, those little small utility trucks, vans, things, which would be great for a delivery vehicle.
A friend of mine got like a little Ford Transit.
Yeah. Yeah, they make them super tiny. It'd be perfect for what we do, and just to have Cambros in there and some catering stuff, and to be able to run and do catering stuff out of that would be ideal. So that is where I would like to have that for a delivery type of vehicle.
That's what I was looking at.
Yeah, but at that point, that's once we have a building type of thing, because I don't have anywhere to put it. I don't have room for all these vehicles.
Yes, that is a luxury item.
Yeah. But yeah, I might get a topper for whatever truck I get, instead of a tonneau cover. Maybe, I don't know, but we'll see. But yeah, it's going to be another trailer and a truck. But hopefully that trailer, I don't necessarily need the diesel on it. I feel a little bit more comfortable pulling it with a 2500 gas engine versus the diesel. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that.
Cool beans. What else you got?
Back to the weather thing.
Oh yeah, back to that.
So you're going back to the farm that has canceled on you, that you had the issue with this weekend, right?
It was.
Yeah, it was interesting. So I imagine you've already looked at the extended forecast.
For this weekend?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't rescheduled with them, but I have looked at this week's forecast. Okay. Yes.
So let's say that you are going. There's a chance of rain this weekend, and you are booked at a location that has canceled on you before for a chance of rain.
Okay.
Are you going to preemptively look for a backup plan?
Yes.
Just in case.
Well,
and how do you approach your backup plan, saying, "Hey, we're already booked, but..."
I kind of did that this weekend. It wasn't necessarily a backup plan. So I know that I can just go to my local farm and home store and set up in the parking lot, and I'll just make the announcement on Facebook like I did today, or like I did that day, and kind of go from there. It's not that's my backup plan.
Okay.
It's not contacting like, a brewery or something like that. It's me just finding a place to set up.
Right.
One that I really don't have to tell anybody, other than Facebook, that I'm going to be there.
Yeah.
But here's hoping that I don't have to worry about it.
So just as we're talking about new trailers and how we finance them and such, I did reach out to my guy that worked for the leasing company that we used before, asking about any traditional loan options. So he came back. He said they do have a loan option that is different from the lease. It's a working capital type of thing. So it's a short-term cash loan with a 12-month term.
Okay. Sounds like just like Square.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it all comes down to how confident am I that our catering coming up is going to be able to pay for it.
I was going to say the 12-month term would kind of throw me for a loop, but
yeah.
Is it a monthly or is it a balloon?
I'm not sure. So, and then the next sentence was, however, now that you've established business credit and longer time in business, the lease financing that you would qualify would be much cheaper than the last one we did. So he asked me for an estimate on the trailer, so I sent it to him. So we'll see what it comes back as. But yeah, once again, I think my trailer cost was $48-ish, and total cost of the lease was about $120. So. Is what I've paid them over the last 4.5 years.
Oh.
Yeah. Which, that's 3 trailers.
Oh.
Or pretty damn close to it. So, and that's exactly, yeah, like I
Sorry, I keep saying that, but it's like, ugh.
No, I completely get it. I said it when we were signing the paperwork. Like, but we made it, and every payment got made on time, and it was all made through barbecue.
Yeah.
So
In essence, they should absolutely love you for that.
yeah, and you would think that I should be able to get better terms now that, yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what they come back with. So maybe that is an option, and
I think that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
It should be much better. I mean, you weren't in business. You kind of took what you had to take to get it off the ground.
yeah,
But now that you've proved that you can pay it off on time and not have to worry about it, hopefully it should be better.
yeah.
It'd be nice if it was.
And we still have the capital from trailer number 1 to help pay for trailer 2. You know, so we're not relying solely on the one trailer to pay for the one trailer. We now have
Exactly.
2 trailers to pay for one trailer.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm super interested. I'm not sure.
Make sure you're. If I can give you a little advice, just make
Yeah.
sure you're more clear on the terms of this one
Yeah,
than
no
you were on
fucking
the
shit.
first one.
Well, hopefully we don't hit another pandemic and there's no renegotiation and what was it? What's the word
Knock
I'm
on
looking
wood.
for? What's that?
Hey, that was me. Shut up. Damn dogs.
No pushing payments off, which is where we got effed. But yeah, everything will be a much, much, much clearer and gone over much, much more. But yeah, again, I mean, we didn't know. You know, I've deferred payments on other things before. You know, and it's never felt the need to really go over with a fine tooth comb to make sure that they didn't f something up on the number of payments left. You know, it's.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, our banks used to do it for Christmas. Like, hey, why don't you take the month off, have yourself a little extra money for Christmas, and we'll just add on the payment to the end of the year. You know?
Yep.
So figuring for COVID, it's the same thing. You know, why do I have to just pop that onto the end and call it good? But
FYI, for a little Ford Transit Connect cargo van,
yeah,
a used one in the 2010s to the 2016s, anywhere between 5,000 to 7,000.
wow, that's not bad at all.
They all got, hella miles on it, but
Well, and that's fine. I don't need to put a 200,000 miles on the vehicle. You know, it's
no.
and I'm sure they were driven awful, and you're probably only going to get 50 to 60,000 miles out of it.
Yeah, a lot of them are anywhere from like 140 to 230,000 miles on it.
Yeah, I mean,
But I think just to have it, would be good. I don't know if my wife would let me park it here, but
well, and
Okay.
just even, I mean, back to even a 2-day festival, being able to load it up with stock, you know,
Yes.
extra styrofoam containers and things and stuff,
Oh, yeah.
and pop, you know, just to have it available to you. I know our friend Kyle, who Holy Smokers, the first year we did the only year we did the Silver Lake Apple Festival, he showed up. He had made like 3 trips from Holland. So he brought his trailer. He brought another trailer that had, I think, an additional smoker on it. And then he came back with a U-Haul. That was like a 16-footer U-Haul that he was using to keep everything. For
That's a lot.
a 3-day event. That's exactly. I was like, God, no. Like, I don't want to be in that position ever.
So you get a new trailer. Would you think about going back to Silver Lake where it all started?
No, not for 20%.
Yeah.
It's just, that's so fucking outrageous.
But just up your fees.
Yeah. Okay. Did I tell you that I reached agreement with our family farm over here
To
on their 10%?
Do a flat fee versus money.
No,
versus a percentage?
we're providing their staff with lunch every day we go.
Yes, you're feeding lunch. That's right.
Yeah. So, yeah, we just added on another day with them for their trunk or treat event that they do. They said they had 2,000 people there last year for their trunk or treat.
Holy shit.
With one dessert truck and some guy selling hot dogs out of a tent. So they were looking to have 4 to 5 trucks this year of various coffees and donuts and food. So yeah, I hopped on that one pretty quick. 2,000 people is a good number for. I mean, even if there's a couple of entree trucks and you go through all our normal, half of them eat, half of them go to blah blah blah, half of them go to. It's still a decent evening.
Hopefully, all of them go to you.
Yeah, of course. People love us.
That's what.
But
Yeah, I got reached out from a Halloween event I did last year. They said, "Hey, everybody was raving about your food, and they're asking who we're going to have this year. So we'd like to invite you back out." I'm like, absolutely.
yeah, yeah, we've really seen referral business be through the roof this year.
Yeah.
So many people, so much that we're quoting that it's, hey, I got your name from so and so you did there, whatever. Which is awesome, and that is the best way. That's the best advertising we can get.
Oh, absolutely. No
oh.
doubt about it.
Something I have been wanting to talk to you about the last few weeks.
Yes.
Because we've done a lot of social media talk before, and I don't know that we've touched on this one. And I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to go about it, but it's going to be a point of emphasis over the next couple weeks for me. LinkedIn.
Sure.
Do you have your business listed there? Do you have an account personally or with the business?
Personally.
Personally?
But I've changed my occupation.
Okay. Yeah, mine too. I did that when I left the other place. It hasn't changed the the type of person that reaches out to me to request contacts or whatever they're called. It's still all IT people. Yeah, I think it's I know it can be used for us for catering stuff, to that be an option. I just need to figure out how to go down that road. Whether it's writing articles and posting them there about benefits of providing food or having food available to staff, and just kind of go through it that way, and then.
But hopefully. I guess how do you get that talk or that post or that offer is probably not a good word, but you know what I mean, to the people that make those decisions?
That's where I'm not sure yet.
Sorry.
But I know you can. I know it has the same kind of targeting features that like Facebook ads do, where through tags and other things that you can target businesses with your posts, like in a certain radius. Yeah, I don't know. It's all a little bit of luck, I think, but it all is.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it is.
But the more people you get in front of, the better. And those are, I mean, in theory, business decision makers. I mean, you don't even need to get in front of the decision makers. You just need to get in front of somebody that has access to the decision maker.
Yeah.
When it comes up to, hey, we're starting to plan our Christmas party. What do you guys want to see? And someone remembers a post they saw. We get that now. So, but with that being a more professional type of avenue,
yeah,
just need to figure out how to crack the seed there. I know it's doable. Just need to figure it out. So that's where I'm going to focus a lot, because I mentioned that we're gonna really hit that kind of advertising hard for next year. Our business roadside stuff and business catering.
Yes,
it's generally, that stuff is the best roadside we can do, even if it's employee pay. Those are usually the best days because they have everybody on board for them.
True. Yeah, it's
So
it's like
we've
an
only
event.
had a couple that have been stinkers, and those businesses aren't huge to begin with. I mean, 60 people in the building or whatever, and you get a day where everybody's just in meetings or it's manufacturing and they have to work through lunch because some shit happened, and it's,
Exactly.
yeah. So, I mean, that stuff's always going to happen, but in general, those are usually pretty good days. So, that's going to be we're really going to hit that hard, trying to target those types of people and those types of businesses for service next year. I really wish that I had the desire to work for third shift people.
Yeah.
I saw 2 more this week that was looking for someone to feed all 3 shifts.
Yeah, like
And
3
like
a.m.
the last time was like 2:30. Like
Yeah, I saw one in Battle Creek for like 3 a.m.
I already did one day where I didn't sleep at all the night before because I was freaking making chicken all night long.
Well, we're doing one at the end of the month that we're feeding third shift from 9:30 to 11,
Mhm.
then coming back the next day to do first and second shift from like 11 to 3. So that's not bad.
It would totally depend on the amount of the drive I had to make.
Well, luckily this is in town, so I
Yeah.
don't really have to drive too far. But we did do one in Chelsea that's like 40, well, about 35 minutes away, and it was first and second shift, and then we came back for third, which was like at midnight.
Okay. Did you do anything the next day?
I think so. I can't remember what it was.
That's right. Really, I mean, it's just compounding those kind of days.
But it was a $7,000 job, so
Yeah, I know. That's usually what screws me, man. It's like, I
I
see
gotta
the
learn
dollar
to say
signs.
no.
I
Say no to
see
money.
the dollar signs. Yeah, it's like the catering we did for 600 people, and they wanted pork and chicken pieces for 600 people. So spent all night cooking frickin' chicken, on and off, and yeah, it was but yeah, it was $20 a head, and it's a good day.
Your thing. Be happy to do that.
Yep, you betcha. Oh, you need to add another 100 people? Sure. There's no difference in 500 or 600. It's
Yeah.
just more chicken. Yeah. All right. That's about it for us today, I think.
I think so. I think we've talked too much.
Yeah, we usually do. A lot of hot air and nothing really being said.
We're very thankful for all our listeners.
We are. Hey, we hadn't mentioned this yet. We have been on the air, we'll say, for over a year now.
Been that long?
We started recording in August of last year, so August 1st, I think, is when our first podcast actually hit the airwaves. So,
Well, I'd like to thank the Academy. Oh, sorry, this isn't acceptance speeches.
no, there's no awards.
Oh,
So yeah, it's I think
Okay.
next week, if you want, we can kind of let people know what our podcast experience has been like. Kind of, you had some sticker shock because you saw the email this year. What we get charged for for hosting. Yeah, so we can go through some of that next week. I think that'd be good.
I've offered to pay for it, and Josh tells me no, but that's fine.
Well, we're hoping to have more listeners by this point. So, anyways, everybody, that's it for us.
I think we're up to 3, maybe 4. I'm just kidding. Let's go.
All right, guys. We'll see you all next week. Have a good week, Skippy. Bye. What? I can't see it.
Button. Just
Recording
button.
stopped.